guys, it's Georgia. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If y'all are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be redoing another one of my old videos. I'm just going to be making some more things with resin. I've had a lot more time off camera to practice it, so I feel more confident in my skills and in what my final products look like. And my sister and one of her friends wanted some things, so I decided I would make them for them. And yeah, I hope you guys like it, and if you do, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like any of the items in this video, they will all, except for one, be available for purchase down in the link in my Etsy below. But yeah, let's get started. Alright, so since this is a resin video, I have out my plastic tablecloth. I'm also grabbing my 2 silicone measuring cups. I'm using the same resin I used last time, so it is 1 part hardener to 1 part resin. Once I've measured those out with the little lines on the sides of the cylinders, I'm just going to be stirring that until it looks like a cohesive liquid, getting rid of as many bubbles and all the lines that I can because it was very streaky. And once it's mixed together, I can start my different projects. So the first project I'm going to be doing, I need a hot pink color is my ideal color, so I added a little bit of light pink and a little of this maroony color, and while it didn't come out perfect, it did come out much better than either one alone. So just mixing that mica dye together until it looks like the entire liquid is supposed to be that color, adding some black glitter into this and doing the same thing, just mixing it throughout until it is even. And for this one, I am using a large silicone mold. It is a probably 6-inch long tray that has the triple moon sign and a pentagram inside. This one took an entire 1 cup, I believe that is, of resin, and I just have to lift up the sides of the walls of the tray to make sure that all of the liquid gets in there. I've done this tray a few times off camera, and I always have a lot of big bubbles in that little rim because it's hard to make sure the resin gets everywhere, so I'm just trying to eliminate as many bubbles as I can before it dries and hardens. But after I've poured all of my resin in, made sure it fills the entire mold, I'm just going to be going over it with fire. Just using a little lighter can get rid of all the little surface tension bubbles, and once it's hardened, I just pop it out. This one was difficult to get out because there is that little lip there, but once I did it, it was really satisfying to just pop out. And you notice there's a lot of rough bubbles on the edges, even though the outside and the top looks fine, the edge of the bottom. So to fix that, I'm taking this hot pink felt from another previous video and just using fabric glue to attach it to the bottom, almost like some vases and pots and stuff have a cork on the bottom. When I sell these, I will be using cork on them, not just felt, but this is what I had on hand. Roughly cutting around the edge just so that it's easier to work with, and then going over to get all the little nooks and crannies, make it as close as possible. And there it is. I have the first one finished. I know that the bottom looks really rough, but I will fix them up when I sell them. For the second project I'm doing, it is something similar. I'm using a dark blue color in a smaller square mold. This one my sister's friend wanted, and he wants it to look like the ocean. So I'm using this dark blue to get into the walls of the bowl in a way. Adding a little bit of just clear resin so I have a lighter color, and I have these aquarium rocks that I just had in little like jars for right now. I'm just going to be adding a couple clear and white ones to that because he wanted it to look like there were rocks at the bottom. Covering those with the lighter blue and some white just so that it looks like a gradient, not just one solid color. And like I did before, just using the lighter to pop all surface bubbles. This one was much easier to pop out, just going around and pulling from the center. And while this one looks much nicer on the edges, it does still have all those little teeny tiny bubbles at the end, which make it really rough. So for this one, I'm doing the exact same process again, but I'm using a dark, like orange, so it looks like sand on the bottom of the tray. Pushing that down. This one was much easier to cut out since the details were not as big, and just going around to get as close as I can as possible. Like I said, I'll use cork for the ones I sell, but with that, this one's finished, and I think it came out pretty cool. I'm doing one last trinket tray. This one is for my sister. She wanted a like peach shiny one, so I'm using a little bit of my peach dye, some just clear or white glitter, I'm not sure which color, and to make it just a little more shiny, I have these little tinsels. I don't have a coral one, but I did have white, so this would just add a little bit more iridescence and shine to it. She wanted hers in a little heart tray to hold her jewelry while she's away at college, so I'm just pouring that in. For the smaller trays, I didn't have to move the edges to get the tray full, but I still do have to use fire to pop all the bubbles and make sure I get it as full as possible. This one was just like the other one. Since it's small, it's easy to demold, and it's a little bit lopsided on the bottom. One of the pieces of tinsel popped through, but other than that, it looks pretty good. And just like before, since there's all those teeny tiny bubbles, if anyone has hints on how to get rid of those, I'd really appreciate it. And just gluing this one onto a lighter pink, I think all of these would have looked much better and would look much more cohesive with a corkboard at the bottom, but like I said, I had this part of the idea sort of last minute, and I just wanted to use what I had. And with that, this one is done, and I think this one is the cutest of them all. I have one last project I'm doing. This was also for my sister. I'm using just a white mica powder dye to make almost a cream color, and on these earring molds I'm going to be using that little teardrop mold. She just wanted me to make her a pair of earrings, and while this was the smallest resin to do, this was the most difficult. I did just add the random resin into a random container just so that I made something with it, popping all the air bubbles with the lighter and popping these out. Now that I had them out, you can see there's a little hole at the top because they're made to be used for earrings or on some form of keychain. So I'm going to try and turn them into earrings. So I'm grabbing out my jewelry making kit. I thought that I could use just 4 of the small jump rings, put one on the earring hoop and one on the pendant so that it looked like it was dangling and looked the right way. And after opening it and trying to slide these on, I realized that those small jump rings were way too small to fit whatever, either the size of the hole or the shape. So I tried going in with the larger jump ring, thinking maybe it just needed more space, but that one also did not work. And I was really confused at this point, but I grabbed these little eye pins. My cat wanted to watch me do it, and I sort of made my own. So I just stuck up the side with the eye pin and so that it was standing straight, and pulled the other end to wrap it around one side, folded it a little bit. This is hard to explain because I don't even really know what I was doing here. I would definitely change the process if I were to make these to sell, but I just sort of folded it around so it latched on and cut off the little spare piece so it didn't stab her. After that, just opening the one earring and putting it in, and I did the exact same process with the other, just opening that top of the earring hole and putting the eyelet through. And there I have the earrings. I do really like how all of these projects came out. While they're not much more advanced than the other ones I did, I think that they look better overall, and I'm much more comfortable with it, which is why these will be available in my shop. I have more items as well, but they will be customized, so you can order whatever color you would want, any add-ins that I have available. But I really do like how these came out. I think they came out how my sister and her friend intended them all to, and the one peach, not peach one, but the pink one I did came as close as possible as I think I could get. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. All my other social medias are linked down below if you want to see more from me and all my friends than the every 3 weeks I post on here. And yeah, like I said, my Etsy is down there as well, and you can order these starting next week. But I hope you guys liked this video. See you next time. Bye!